Hi everyone. In the last class, we were discussed about thread patterns and different types of threads and in the tire, okay, different types of tires, etc. But today we are going to study about the wheels in the classes of wheels and tires. We are going to study about the different types of tires, the tire classification, and what are the materials we are going to use for manufacturing the tire, and also the tire size and its designation. Okay, so tire classification according to the basic aspects. Okay, we are using different purposes actually. Okay, so for the different purposes or different aspects forming the basis of the classification, we know that we can divide into five numbers. Okay, so according to the construction related and the medium we are using, and also the air storage system. Okay, and also we are using like for why we are using this tire, or what is the specific purpose we are going to use, like which type of vehicles we are using, and also the surface, okay, in which surface we are going to apply our tire. Okay, so all these matters is considering, all these matters considering, we are going to differentiate different types of different types of tires actually. Okay, so first in the cases of construction. Okay, so construction which related to which type of method we are going to affix our ply cards inside the tire actually. Okay, so you know that the ply cards are the skeletons of our tire actually. Okay, so what is different type of ply cards? Okay, and the different arrangement of these ply cards, and these ply cards according to this arrangement or different type of skeletons, we can classify again into three types. Okay, so first one is the bias ply or cross ply, second one is the radial ply, and third one is the belted bias ply. So these three type of plies arrangement, we can study in the construction related matters. Okay, so in the cases of construction, we can subdivide this classification into three. One is the bias ply, second one is the radial, and third one is the belted bias. Okay, so the next one is a cushioning medium. Okay, which type of cushioning? Okay, that is we are using the solid type or the pneumatic type we are using. Then according to that, the tire is classified. And another different type is the according to the storage. Okay, whether the inside we are using the tube or tubeless. Okay, so tires we can classify broadly into tube type or tubeless type. Okay, now the market, when we see the market, we can see that there are a lot of types of tires are available, and in the different, the broadly classified this tubeless or tube type. Okay, so in the tube type there will be inside a tube will be provided, and the tubeless there will not be any tube inside. Okay, it has in its own and the advantages and disadvantages for this tube and the tuber type. Okay, tubeless type. Now according to the type of the vehicle we are going to use. Okay, so whether it may be a passenger vehicle, or maybe it is light vehicle, cars, or like tractors, or like heavy vehicles. Okay, so depending upon the vehicle, we can classify the different types of tires actually. So you know that in the plantations, or in the mud like okay, in the solid soils we are using actually these tractors. Okay, the tractor tires are entirely different with the other common types. Okay, the passenger vehicle tires we cannot use in there actually. In the muddy areas, we cannot use the passenger vehicles tires. Okay, so next one is the surface related to the tire we are using. So you know that the snow tires are there actually. Okay, sand tires, spiker tires, and all weather type tires are available. Okay, so there will be snow tires are available, sand tires are available, spiker tire are available, and also all weather type of tires are also available. Now the tires is different sizes and ply ratings, and also these threaded patterns which are we are going to them use for the specific applications. Okay, so according to the ply ratings, so we can subdivide it into that. So the solid tires which having becomes obsolete, and pneumatic tires which is more broadly used for the automatic automobile applications. So the pneumatic tires we can classify into mainly two types, like tubeless tires and tuber tires. So tubular tires, which is we can use in the passengers cars and light duty vehicles, and the tuber types, which is used in heavy duty vehicles actually. Okay, tuber types normally nowadays we are using this heavy duty vehicles. Now you can see here the cross section of a tubered and tubeless type tires are given here actually. Okay, in this figure you can see that in the first one is the tube type actually, and the second one is the tubeless type. Okay, so in the tube type, inside there will be a tube. Okay, here you can see there is a tube inside it actually. Okay, so this tube inside, we are providing the air inside. Okay, now here you can see that another another parts, these are the thread patterns we can see from the outside. Thread patterns will be available, and inside there will be a cushion is provided. Okay, a small cushion is provided, and also the bead, you can see here the beads are there, and here both sides are, you can see that the beads, and this will be the rim actually. So this cross hatchet lines, which is represents this rim of the tire, okay, of the wheel, and this entire part will be the tire actually. And inside there will be a tube will be there. In the inside the tube we are providing the air actually. So the air gives the shape of this entire thing. Okay, so there will be a tube valve is also available. Now tube valve, that this is a tube valve actually, but in the cases of tubeless tire we are using the air valve actually. Okay, so in the air valve we are providing the air inside, and here it is, there is a no tube inside actually. So that is why uh, here this tube is not provided. So instead of that we are providing an air retaining liner. Okay, an air retaining liner we are providing, and inside there is an air. All other constructions are the same actually, like the thread will be there, and shoulder, and all these things are like beads are there. Okay, the rims are there. All the other parameters or the other parts will be available in same, but except the tube is not inside. But here we are in the construction you can see there is a small difference in the construction actually. Okay, so the conventional tube tires, we can see that there is a thin and flexible rubber tube we are placed inside of the tire actually. Okay, a thin and flexible rubber tube we are placed inside the tire. Okay, so these tube and the valve is which is fitted to it, and which serve to fill the air inside. Okay, so the air we are providing is the pressure will be the atmospheric pressure, and the air we are going to forced into the tube under a stimulation pressure actually. Okay, so because in the normal pressure it won't go inside, so that is why we are giving a small pressure to push the air into inside actually. So the air filling the tube which act as a cushioning medium, and the outside the casing of the tire which serve the mainly to protect the tube and provide the traction actually. So in the cases of tubeless tire, it does not have any closure of any tube. Okay, so instead of that, the air is filled into the tire by the casing, under there is a pressure through which a non-return valve is fitted to the rim. Okay, you can see that this is a non-return valve. Okay, so that valve is fitted to there, and through there, through this valve, we are providing the air actually. So inside the tubeless tire, there is a lined with a special air retaining liner. As I told you, there is an air retaining liner that is made up of a halogenated butyl rubber actually. So this air retaining liner, you can see that this air retaining liner which is gives that gives like that actually strongly that is made up of a halogenated butyl rubber, and that actually is retained this air inside actually. So this liner provide a better air permeability together with the heat and weather resistance. Okay, so compared to this to the tube type, okay, tube tires, the tubeless tires are the advantages to easier fit and lesser unsprung weight, and better cooling and slow leakage of air. So tubeless tire is better than actually the tubed tire. Even after the tire is punctured by the nail or the air is retained inside the tire for a longer period actually. So you know that in the inside of the air retaining line there will be some chemicals we are also provided inside that chemicals, and that chemical is closing this valve actually. So tubeless tire is very easy to install, and it is very easy to it has an advantages over that tube type tire actually. Okay, so and it having a longer life period actually. So the small hole left over the pulling the out the nail, and it can be sealed by a rubber plug without removing the tire from the wheel actually. But in the cases of a tuber tire, we what we have to do is we have to remove the tire, and we have to remove the tube, and we have to patch it by using some sticker and rubber sticker, and we have to patch it the hole in the rubber that is inside the tube, and then we have to refit it. But in the cases of the tubeless tire, we don't need to remove that tire from the wheel rim. So when some nail is when it nail is going to inside, then what we have to do is we have to remove the nail from the outside, and we will give some rubber type, some small rubber type, some puncturing device is there actually. So that rubber plug we have to insert it, and we have to wait for some time, and it will automatically puncture, or it will automatically flush that. Okay, so that is why very easy to assemble, or very easy that that tubeless tire is very easier than this tube type of tire. Okay, so now yeah, so next one we are going to study about the cutway of our tire. Okay, actually, so you can see that what are the parts inside of in a tire actually. Okay, so you can see that here. So the first one, the over layer, you can see that the thread is there actually, and this is the baseline, and you can see that these sheets are there, first belt and second belt. Okay, and then you can see there is a side walls are there actually, and there is a inside of that you can see that the plies actually. So this is the first ply, second ply, and also inside of the ply you can see there is a liner actually. The red color which is showing here, you can see it is a liner actually. Okay, and in between these plies you can see a filler is there actually, and you can see, so there is a bead, there is a blue color which is shows as a bead actually. And in the out in between these side walls and this belt, you can see there is a veneer. Okay, so what are the all the parameters function you can discuss in the later slides. Okay, so these are the cross section or the cutway section of a tire actually. Okay, right, now you can discuss with the cross ply, radial ply, and belted bias tire. Okay, what are these different types of tires actually. Okay, so what is cross ply actually? Okay, cross ply or bias ply, according to its construction, this ply is a woven at an angle of 30 to 40 degree with the tire axis, and two layers which is run opposite directions. So the plies is actually a crisscross, which is overlap and run diagonally from bed to bed. Okay, so I will show the figure of this ply actually. Okay, you can see here in this one, this is a bias ply actually. Okay, yeah, so in the cases of bias ply or bias, or it is also known as a cross ply actually. Okay, so in the cross ply you can see here in the figure, this is a bed bundle, and this is the plies actually. So this ply which is you can see that is cross in shape actually. Okay, one over another you can see the plies are there, and one ply having a diagonal like this one, the shapes are like this, and another one is like a cross. Okay, over the cross. So these are the thread of the tire, and you can see this side wall, and these are the liner inside the plies. You can see the liner, and there will be a DTW strip actually. Okay, right, anyway, so why we are using the plies actually? So what is exactly the ply? So ply is a metal type. Okay, a long metal. Okay, wires are bounded each other, and it is compressed over a small a rubber type. Okay, a plastic type coatings is provided actually. Okay, so there is a long wires are there, actually strong wires, okay, metal wires, and over that you are pouring some nylon or something like a plastic type coatings are given over that one. So that is actually the ply. Okay, so ply gives a skeleton shape actually for this our tire actually. Okay, so it's also known as the skeleton of the tire actually. Okay, right. So here we are providing two, you can provide two or more numbers of the plies inside the tire actually. But here normally we are using two numbers of the plies, two or three numbers of plies are we are applying. So here in the cross ply or the bias ply, you can see that the lines of these black lines, you can see that these black lines are the metals actually, metal wire actually. Okay, metal wire, which is over, there is a plastic compound over that actually. Okay, right. Now what is actually yeah, so according to this cross ply, we can see that the tire is strong in all directions, so it has a smooth ride and adequate handling, and which is cheaper in manufacture. So the plies which is tend to move against each other, so these tires run hotter when particularly in a high speed, and also suffers from the some thread requires. Okay, so the tire which is tend to close, and this tire meets the ground when the aspects of the lead to increase the wear and high potential for the failure. So you know that if we are using these types of cross ply, we can use in the yeah, in the heat, we can remove this heat actually. Okay, so each other, and these run hotter when the hotter atmosphere is getting from this tire. It is when high speed we cannot use these types of plies actually. Okay, so the it mentioned that the in the high speed we cannot high speed use this type of cross plies. Okay, now in the case of belted bias types, okay, which is reinforced with a number of circumferential breaker belts actually. Okay, so this you can see in here the figure, the second figure, you can see that this is a bias blight. So in the bias belted ply, okay, in this one you can see that there is a two three layers of these plies are there, and also the body plies are also there, all others are there. Now these are the body plies. Okay, and the belted plies are over that actually. Okay, so it is actually in this shape you can see that it is it's not cross one. So first one is a diagonal one, second one is the straight one, and again the cross one. Like this way you can see that this one which runner in a cool way. Okay, so these tires run cooler, and which provide a better tread life and improve the traction, and also give some greater road mileage. So these tires are more expensive and ride in the stiff, and do not flex as easily as a bias fly. So bias fly, which is a very flexible type. So this belted bias type, which is not that much easily flex. So but it is more expensive than the cross ply. Okay, so next one is the yeah, our radial ply actually. Okay, so in the radial ply you can see that the breaker plies are all already applied actually, the breaker plies. Okay, so in the radial type you can see that it runs parallel to each other. Okay, and a vertical one, vertical to the tire rod. So the direction of the plies which is radial to the side walls, and steel mesh which is incorporated run over the plies, which is along with this circumferential direction of the tire actually. So you can see that there is a body plies are available, and also this breaker plies are available. So these are the like conical type shape which is over actually, over and over each one actually. So you can see here. So according to this, the radials are which is most popular choice for the new cars and the light duty vehicles. Okay, so the sidewalls are very flexible, and these have the better wear life and a low rolling resistance actually. Okay, so it also offer a better road grip, and bead does not skim. Okay, in the side beads, so you can see that the side beads which do not squeeze actually. Okay, and so this is very supportive, and for the breaker strips. Okay, so and additional breaker strips are provided in the sidewalls actually. Okay, in the sidewall stock, additional breaker strips are provided, or the meshes are provided in the sidewalls. So that is why it is having a lesser wear and tear and more thread life we can get. And also the configuration of this tire print, you can see that in the figure, the next figure, you can see that the bias ply tire and the radial type ply. Okay, so you can see here the tire prints are, you can see both tire prints are like this actually. And you can see, coming to the speed, okay, there is a graph which is showing the rolling resistance versus the speed actually. Okay, you can see here a radial ply tire is, when you get the more speed, is having a lesser rolling resistance. But in the case of bias ply, you can see that when the speed is increases, the rolling resistance is drastically increase. Okay, so that is the difference actually between the radial ply and bias ply. So according to the total the tire type, we can see that the radial ply type is more grip, more providing more grip in the road actually. And also it is the radial tires are very best in the cars actually. Okay, so the tendency to discomfort this lift actually. Okay, so yeah, the thread grooves does not close in the wet roads, so the water removal is better provided in the wet road, so which is provided in the performance of the vehicle. Okay, so in the next figure, you can see that there is a comparison of the tire distortion during the cornering in between the radial and the cross ply. Okay, so you can see the first figure is for the radial type and the second figure for the cross ply type. Okay, when you are cornering actually, okay, when you are going into cornering, the vehicle is moving in a corner or a one side corner. What happens in the radial tire? The radial ply tire, you can see that the force is acting in the centripetal force is acting in the side way, and you can see that the tires is simply flat. Okay, so you can see that all the threads are in the same the surface actually. But in the cases of the force when acting in the side way, you can see that when it is cornering, you can see that this side of the edge will rises up and this side is in the surface. So what happens in here in the cross ply is, um, this part of the tire thread will damage easily, or the wear and tear is more in this side actually. But in the cases of the radial fly, it is not like that. It is a uniform wear will happens in the radial type actually. So that is why, the distortion of cornering, okay, the tire distortion is more in the cases of the road cross fly actually. Okay, so there are some advantages over this offset which providing in the case. So yeah, so the higher the initial cost and the heavier the steering at low speed, and harsh in the uncomfortable ride and low speeds. Okay, so so according to the tire case, we can see that the tire, the radial type tire is best in the class actually. Okay, and that's it. I think next one is the tire material. Okay, so you know that the tire materials, the modern tires are made from the range of a material, which are first one is rubber actually. Okay, so rubber, which is a blend by natural and synthetic rubber, which is a compound of the numerous chemicals actually. Okay, numerous chemicals which ensure the desired characteristics. Okay, so we know that the tire materials, the major one of the major material we are using is rubber actually. So which is the natural and synthetic, the combination of a natural and a synthetic material we are using for, yeah, for ensuring some desirable characteristics for the tire actually. You know that the tire should be very rigid, solid, and it should not wear actually. So that is why some rigid, some solid reason should be there, some chemical, we have to add some chemicals actually for this rubber. Okay, and a large number of carbon black is added to improve their resistance actually. Okay, so when we add more carbon black, it improves the resistance to the wear and tear actually, and also the abrasion. Now the sulfur is there, which is used for as an vulcanizing agent, and also used for the thread actually, for their giving a longer life. And another component which is the styrene butadiene rubber, actually styrene butadiene rubber, which is and also the polybutadiene. These are the two synthetic materials we are commonly used for the tire making. So the next one is the natural rubber, which is greater flexibility. So that is why we are providing this natural rubber for this tire manufacturing. So it having a very greater flexibility. So for the slide walls of the tire, we are using very flexible material. So that is why the natural material is used for the making of the side walls. And why we are using this, because it deflects while passing the tire and contact the patch of the one of the reason, actually. Okay. Now the next one is the plies, actually. Okay, so the plies which are made from coats and fabric coated rubber. Okay, plies, the plies are the coats of fabric coated with a rubber, which may be used in nylon, polyester or fiberglass, which any material you can see. So the plies are made, which one, which is the cords means that the material wire, the metal wires, which is over some rubber or nylon or polyester or the fiberglass, which is made, okay, which is coating, providing a coating over some lines of these metal wires, actually. So that is a ply, actually. Now the breaker strips, actually. Breaker strips, which is used for the radial ply and biased ply tires, and it is made up of a nylon and a fiber glass and a steel coats. Okay, so next one is the tire bead, actually. So tire bead is an anchor for the holding the tire in the our wheel, actually. Okay, in the rim, inside the rim, it fitted in there. So the tire bead is very strong, it should be very strong, and it should be very durable, and high tensile steel wire is used for this tire bead, actually. Okay, so these are the tire material we are going to use, and the pictorial representation of these materials I am going to give you. Here you can see in this slide, you can see the carbon black, which is giving a strength and abrasion of the resistance, and the second material is a sulfur link, which is molecules which is having adding high strength and providing a rubber resistance to both heat and cold. So sulfur materials are there, and zinc secrete, okay, zinc stearate are there, and also some zinc stearate which waxes to control the curing rate, okay, to prevent the oxidation with the rubber, actually. And next one is the chemical some accelerator, like some material which is used for the rubber with the same amount of the time, actually. Okay, and some antioxidants also we are providing, which is used to for the degradation, okay, to fight against the degradation of by oxygen and so on. You know that the rubber material or the tire material which will be chemical reaction by using this atmospheric air, or when heating up, it becomes when contact with the oxygen, some degradation happens. So for against this degradation, we are using some antioxidants or the anti-zonants, which we are going to use for this tire manufacturing. Okay, now tire size and designation. Next one is the tire size and designation. So yeah, and as you know that when the tire size, different types of tires, or different size of tires, and a different type of material, okay, we are providing for the different functions, actually. Okay, so according to the tire size, you know that the tire size is mentioned over a tire in the side walls. Okay, you can see that there is a like a P125 or 68 or R17, like a some words are punctured in there, some in the rim or something, like in the wheel or instead of the tire, actually. Okay, so why the tire size is very important, because if the proper size of the tire is not used in the proper wheel, then it won't work, actually, okay, in a proper manner. So that is why the same, okay, the size is very important. And the size of the tire which is satisfy the following condition. First one is the b diameter, actually. Okay, it must suit for the real rim diameter. Okay, so the bead diameter must suit for the wheel rim diameter. The second thing is the section width. Okay, it must be suitable for the use of the wheel rim and large enough to have the suitable load carrying capacity for the vehicle. So the section width and the bead diameter and overall size tire size which allow the sufficient clearance between the tire and the vehicle frame. Okay, now you can see that here I mentioned P125 bar 68 R70. Here P is representing the passenger car, and here you can see that L or LT or maybe the T is separately given, which is the light truck, or T is the temporary. Okay, so in the case of P, maybe LT is given, so LT represents the light truck, or T is the temporary. Okay, like that way. And the next figure which provide, that is 125, which is the width of the section width of the inflated tire in mm. Okay, and a figure after this slash, which is 68. Here 68 is the aspect ratio of the tire as the percentage. Okay, it's a percentage. So what is the aspect ratio, we will study in the later class. Now the next one is the tire construction. Okay, and the tire construction is designated in the symbols of R, B, D. So R is a radial type, B is a belted bias type, and D is a bias type. So R means radial type, B is the belted bias ply type, and D is the bias ply type. And the next one is the final number. You can see here the 70 number. So what is the 70 number? Which is the diameter of the wheel rim of which the tire is to be going to fit actually. So you can see here the diameter in the figure. You can see in the right side, you can see there is a diameter D is given. So in that one is the diameter, and here you can see the width W is also provided here in the figure. So W is the width of the tire, which is taken at the widest point of the tire, and D is the diameter at the point of the contact between the tire and rim. Okay, now the load capacity is indicated by the ply, which is rating is index of the strength actually. So here some speed ratings are also is provided, which is S is resembles up to 170 km per hour, and H is also given as 210 up to 210 km, and suppose V is given, then it is about 210 km per hour. So these speeds, so we have to use the speed of the maximum speed of the vehicle, which is we are going to use actually. Okay, so so suppose a vehicle which is going to up to 170 km per hour, then we are using the S. Okay, so S type of tire, and if it is above some 170 and up to 210, then H type, and about 210 it is used as a V type. Okay, now next one, and the next figure you can see here. So in the practical way, you can see in the side of the tire, you can, it is punctured mark, there will be some P195 bar 75 R14, like that way there will be some markings are there. Okay, so you can see here, I see here P195 bar 75 R14 92 S MAS MNS. Okay, so like this in the tire there will be punctured. Okay, over the tire, these numbers or these letters will punctured over the tire. So that is why how we are going to. So first one P is represents passenger car, the second one 195, which is section width. Okay, section width, and 75 is the aspect ratio of the profile, and R, which represents radial tire, and 14 is the rim diameter, and 92, which is represents the load carrying index actually. So that is one of the important thing, the maximum load per tire actually. So that is a load carrying index. Okay, so load carrying index, it means that and each tire how much load is carrying actually. Okay, so like a total load, suppose if there is 100 kilogram, then each tire, four tires are there, and each tires will can carry 25 kilograms. So that is why the totally like that is a load carrying index 92. And also S, here you can see that S, which is represent the speed. Okay, speed rating actually, speed rating of the tire actually. So S means how much actually, 180 kilometer per hour. And M and S in the last it is represents like the suitable for the mud and snow actually. Suppose this tire is used for the mud or the snow, then M and S is written in here actually. So this is the way it is the tire size and the designation is represented. Okay, so yeah, now we are going to study about this aspect ratio. What is exactly this aspect ratio actually? So aspect ratio is actually usually given to as a percentage, which is depending upon the which is an aspect ratio, which is depending upon the tires some parameters. So first one is the cushioning of the or the balloon of the tire actually, and the second one is the medium of the low profile tire. So in here you can see that the figure width and height actually. Okay, so when the width and height are the same, then aspect ratio is 100 percentage. See here you can see that the width of the tire and the height of the tire, when the both are equal, width and height are both are equal, then it is 100 percentage. And suppose the width is actually 0.7 of the height, it means that 70 percentage. So width which is equal to, yeah, so zero point 0.7 of the height, or width by height ratio, which is 0.7 width by height. So width divided by height ratio is the aspect ratio. So width divided by height, which is 0.7, then it means that is 70 percentage actually aspect ratio. Okay, so yeah, so that is why the aspect ratio. So it's a ratio of the section of height to the section of the width actually, height and width ratio. And yeah. Hmm. Right. So I think today's class is enough for this, and tomorrow we will again meet. Okay, thank you.